Hey, you guys, it's Karen, but you already know that. So today, first, oh, look at this. I want to introduce, this is January's giveaway. This little sheep will be given to one winner. So make sure that you have to like and follow our YouTube. I'm doing a little touch up. And then you must go sign up on my website, liongate.org. Click the enter the contest. Okay, only do it one time. Just one time is good. If you're already there, it's a running contest, okay? But I just want to show you what January's prize is. And then the first video in February will show you February's prize. So, onward to the birds, since that's what we're making today. Now, Ken and I are arguing over what color I should make. So, this cute little bird, isn't this the cutest thing? It's a cute little bird. There is going to be a kit, okay? But the kit at this point is going to be the bluebird. And the reason being is it has to do with parts that I can get. So I'm going to put the kit live as a pre-order since I don't have all the spools yet or all the wire. But the reason we're doing that one is the wings for both of these are made out of sweater parts. Okay, so I find old sweaters at Goodwill. Actually, I don't find them. I have a friend that scours Goodwill, and when she finds a wool sweater for me, she brings them to me. And this one is one that was gray that I dyed this teal color. So it's an overdyed. After she brings me the sweaters, I know this long explanation about sweaters, I wash them on super, super hot in the washer. They have to be 100% wool, and they shrink. And they become felt, pretty much. But we're going to cut our wings out of these sweater pieces. And no pun intended, I already did this to Cannon. I'm winging it here. But on the template, there's an actual wing template. So you're going to make just little teardrop shapes of wings. So either one. I still haven't decided what color I'm doing, Cannon. I'm telling you, maybe we make them both and show them both. So your body color is kind of dependent upon whatever color you pick for your wings. So, of course, if you buy the kit, it will have this teal color in it that you will cut your wings out of. Or if you go out shopping and find some cool wool sweaters, then your body color needs to match your wings. So I'm using, this is bubblegum for the teal. This is deer for the light brown. And I think it's deer. Yeah, it's deer. It came out good. And then the breast on both of them is pumpkin, the DHG pumpkin. And then black. And we're using the dark DHG. And then, of course, core wool. Let's talk about the wire in case you are not going to get a kit. So this is 20 gauge craft wire, black. I ordered it on Amazon. I don't think I got this on Amazon, but I ordered a giant spool of it on Amazon yesterday because I didn't want to go to Hobby Lobby. Actually, because John has my truck. He has my truck because his car's in the shop. So I'm like vehicle-less if I need to go somewhere. So you're going to need wire cutters, and you'll need your little pliers, and then a skewer for the legs to go through, because we're going to use my special way of putting legs in. And then if you're going to attach it to a spool, you need a little bit of glue. I just used hot glue, but I think if I did it again, I would use E6000 and clamp this guy on. I don't like that I can see the glue. So that is all your supplies. Let's get started. This is a pretty simple guy to do. I'm gonna leave him there. There will be a template. I'll get it on the website too. So core wool. You are going to take, when you find out how easy this bird is, you're going to be like, why have I not been making these birds all the time? In fact, Michelle was just here and I taught her how to do this. So first we're going to make 2 balls. We're going to start by tying a knot. And then you're going to tie another knot. Remember, work smarter, not harder. I mean, why do we want to felt all this stuff hard when we can tie this knot in here? You don't want to go crazy because it's not a super big ball. So this is the body piece where you tie all these knots. And see, it's nice and hard. All right, so then I have this little end. This is a 38 star, not a 38 star spiral. I wanted something with a little beef. And then I'm just gonna wrap this around. Tight, you want it tight. This is our first video of 2025. Can't believe it's 2025 already. Can you, Cannon?
No, it's crazy.
And then you're gonna look at your template to make sure that your ball fits in the template. So it's a fairly small ball. I'm gonna take that off. Like I said, it's pretty tight. And I'm not too worried about it being completely round. I just want this nice, hard shape. Then, take another piece of core wool. I was just picking up that little piece. We're gonna tie one little knot. Okay, this is the head. I have way too much core wool here. And we're gonna roll it up. Yep, so New Year's Day. We were pretty big stick in the muds last night. John and I have this thing. I don't like to drive on the roads during alcoholic beverage holidays. It's not because we are drinking alcoholic beverages, but other people are, and then they make bad decisions. And I don't want to be part of their bad decision. So now you have this little tiny ball. You can see it fits on there. And it's going to go right there. And you are just going to attach this. I know you're thinking, how on earth is this going to look like a bird? I promise you it will. It's fairly simple. It's time for spring. So these little pieces I took off, I'm going to use them to go as wool glue to go around his head. So the shape that I'm aiming for right now is this. I know it looks like gonna take a while to get there, right? Not really. You know, Cannon, there's more biscuits in there.
Thank you, thank you. I'm drinking my coffee right now, just waking up.
Cannon sleeps in.
Yeah.
I cannot sleep in. I have never slept in my entire life, except for when I'm sick. That's how you know I'm sick. If I sleep. We had a break in the rain yesterday. Oh yeah, we had a lot of rain. We had Lango Creek Lake. I don't know if any of you are on the farm page, but I posted. So you can see I'm just making this head look like that. We just want this little head, this little body. And I'm working actually on flattening it out just a little bit. Because I really want the head connected. Rip, do you need to go out? Cannon, could you let Rippy out?
Yep.
Thank you, Cannon. Rip always decides he needs something when we're making a video. Always, always. So again, we're going to flatten that head out just a little bit because they're not perfectly round. You know that from making, if you made the goose. So you can see we're getting to that shape already. Now, on this guy, I have a tail on here already. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out the best way for you to make a tail. I've done it a couple ways where I made it just out of the color. I did it out of coral. But I'll show you. So this we're just going to poke until we get to the nice bird shape. But we don't have to poke a lot because we tied all those knots. So now that you know where the bottom is, this is going to be flatter. So if you're opting to put in legs, you don't have to make it so flat. I do it just because. All right, so now we need a tail. So we know the tail is going to end up down here. Cannon, I'm going to do the blue one. That way they know what the kit looks like.
Okay.
If I can find enough of that sweater, but I don't think there's very much of it left, I will. And if we have time, we'll make both. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking off a piece of my bubble gum. And on here, I do have a little template for you, your tail. Tail ends up being about 1.5 inches. So we're going to draw our tail at 1.5 inches approximately. And we're going to fold in all the rest. Remember to flip it. This Corriedale sliver, it felt so well. Now this doesn't need to be felted super hard, but you want it felted enough that it will be nice. You know, it'll stand out here on its own. And don't worry if you get it too long. I'm kind of pushing towards my needles with my fingers while I'm doing it to help shape it. Remember, needle felting is mostly about learning which way your needles push the wool into the shape you want. I keep turning. You can see that it's getting less and less fuzzy as I felt along. Carefully do the edges. We should have some more new dyed locks in the shop soon. So now your tail's going to go on. That's why we felted him flat on the bottom, because then that really helps with your tail placement. We're just going to use this fringe to go up its back. The hardest part about this is the fancy schmancy little way I put the top coat on. But I have a fleece soaking out in the wool house. Soaking, it's on its rinse. It might need one more, but I don't think so. So it will be ready to dye on Friday. It's taken me a bit to get this clean. She's a dirty sheep. I used to be able to wash about 6 fleeces in a day. I used to be able to. Now it takes me like 2 days to wash one. Don't break your neck. That's all I have to say. So I'm way less productive on the washing fleece part than I used to be. I can only look down for so long before I get a migraine. Okay, tail is attached. See where we're at? That's where we're at. So now, what we need to achieve is this little design here. Because to me, I think that's what makes the bird, is just having this little white area right here from his eye. So let's put on his headpiece. So this comes halfway down. You want to look at the bird from this angle, so halfway down. Don't poke back here yet. Let's just poke here. Because the beak is going to end up at the halfway point. And I'm like just tacking it. Okay, and so if you just kind of look at it from the side, remember how we use that to go up? We're going to go to there. I have this drawn on the template. And now important, you want the other side to be exactly the same as that side. Set them down. That's the easiest way. Now see, I have way too much. I went way too low. Okay, hold on a second here. Well, he's going to be looking to the left. No, he's not. I'm just going to turn it. Seriously, this is the hardest part, is figuring out where the blue goes. We know it's coming down to the tail right there. And I may have to add some on the other side. So this is kind of arched. And you know what? You don't have to do this exact design if you don't want to. It's just the way I like it. And then we're going to fill this. We're going to use this stuff, extra stuff we have up here to fill this all in. Build up our little bird's back. Might be too, well, that might be too much. So let's take some off and use it on his head. So when you look at it from the top, obviously you want the sides to be the same. Sometimes, so I see this part, hold on, let me get this poked in so I can see better. So see how this comes out in a round and this is kind of flat. That means that I need a little bit more built out here on my ball. So I'm just going to use the regular color top coat to do it. Just means that I wasn't felted the same on both sides of that ball. Sometimes that doesn't show up until after you start adding color. And now we're just gonna get this all felted in. So when I'm doing this, I will normally go through, and this is just a side note, I go through and I put all the colors on at once, but I want you to see, and then I go through and I felt like I'm felting right now, and I kind of manipulate them into what I want, but I'm just showing you one color at a time. And the birds that I have done, they're fairly firmly felted, and I went until they're not fuzzy at all. I felted them until they were nice and smooth. Probably because I was just watching a movie and I just kept going, but that's the way I liked how they came out. Been on this reorganizing kick. Is anybody else on a reorganizing kick since it's January? Cannon, you don't have enough to reorganize. Or do you?
No, I don't really have much, but I got some new bar stools for my
island
in my house.
Yeah, did you get that? Is that what you got for Christmas?
No, I just got them for myself.
Oh, you did? What do they look like?
They're like little leather, modern-looking bar stools with a small little back.
Nice. Did you have bar stools before?
I had just like regular tall chairs that were wooden.
Oh,
so
okay.
They were stiff, you know.
Yeah.
They were nice, but I put them out on the corner.
For free?
For free at 1 a.m. And when I woke up in the morning, they were gone. I'm sure they were nice chairs. Probably like $50 to $75 each at least.
Yeah?
But I didn't want to deal with getting rid of them.
You didn't want to go on Marketplace?
No.
You're funny. I need to get some new chairs for in here. You can see we've lost 2.
Oh yeah, huh? They're gone.
Yeah, well, they're in the other room. They need to be repaired. It's not safe for humans to sit on them at this point. So now you can see we have our little bird, only without his fancy little orange breast. And you can see I keep working this up. Took me a minute to figure out what I was doing. All right, now, to get this shape, you gotta look at it from the front. So we're gonna do most of his head, his whole head. So let's take some pumpkin. And we know, here's his neck. But it's not his whole head. So if you think where the eyeball's gonna be, we know there's a white stripe right there. Go to his neck. And then take this up. So it's kind of like you leave a wedge right here to the center. And we're gonna leave another wedge. Oh my gosh, Stuart, the cat is purring so loud. I honestly think Cannon is his favorite person. You go to where the eye's gonna be on that side. And we're gonna come to the neck. So then let's poke all this in. I did this on one bird and I went to do it on another bird and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. Sometimes it's hard to get the same thing twice. There's a lot of bluebirds eating my marigold, my tall marigold seeds that are outside my wool house, which is why I want to make a bluebird. Little blue guys. And a lot of finches. Okay, so we know his eye's going to be there. He's going to have this little white stripe. And then we're going to go to, I like to draw it. So we have this curve right here. Once you get this curve part in, you're golden. See, I lost track of what I was doing. Okay, now we need to do this again. The curve part again. But it has to be the same as that side. So keep looking back and forth. Make sure. You know, you could even take a fabric marker and draw your markings on first. Just go slow. So I have too much right there. I'm going to push it. As long as they're similar. And just remember, you're the only one who knows what it's supposed to look like. I had somebody in the shop yesterday and she's like, oh, I want to buy those. I'm like, you can't today. You can come back after the video. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be a popular item. Being that they were hot off the needles and she wanted them. So whether you're doing the brown color, the whatever color, the breast of the bird is the same. So we've got that. Now we're just going to fill this all in. When you get to the tail back here, remember your goal is just to really cover the color, the white of the core wool. So you don't have to put it on super thick. You know, save that color wool. Just don't want the white to show. I keep working this little angle of his neck versus his head as I'm doing this. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, but the feet aren't on yet. Well, we'll get there. Now, when we get down here to the tail, I like to make a little V. Try not to poke all the way through, but it does join the body to the tail from the underside to do this. Let's just make a little V out here. This is a quiet one, Cannon. I'm not even poking in the thing.
I was just thinking it's quiet in here.
Yeah, it's super quiet. Well, that's because they won't let us have music. And you really don't want me to sing. Trust you me. Hey, at least the power hasn't gone out.
It usually doesn't.
No. You know what's really crazy is in the summer, our power goes out all the time because, you know, they're afraid we're going to have a wildfire. But then in the winter, when it's really crappy weather, it never goes out. It's like, okay, whatever. When you think it would go out, it doesn't. Can see why I make the balls of the bird not super big, because your bird will get super big when you're adding all your colors and whatnot. You always want to make your core wool shape just a hair smaller than you want it. You can see how our little tail joins to the body color. So if you notice that you have a spot that's lighter, where you can see the core wool, and you have a thicker layer of the color, you can just go sideways and push it over, cover that spot up without having to add more. And as I'm poking, I'm keeping his belly round. I'm working my wool to make a round shape. Okay, there we go. We have our little bird body. So next up, let's do some wings. So you watched me cut these out of sweater. And I know I talked about this on the group. I'm just smoothing out my cuts. So this is my little wing. And it attaches right at the end of that. But if you wanted to make this guy fly, you could put it up here like this. So say you were going to use these on a mobile. Wouldn't need legs, and you just attach these little sweater wings like that up here. So put them on this way, and then this way, and then they'll be out there. But I want mine just sitting right here. So I'm bringing it up that high, and then a little piece of bubble gum. Okay, that sounds funny. A little piece of bubble gum color on here. And that's our wool glue. And I'm going to follow the edge of the wing round. Now this first pass, I've got it sideways. And I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to bring this extra back, this fringe, so that it's long ways with the wing. And I'm just going to poke it in. I'm just poking it into the sweater. I'm not going through, except for where I'm attaching it. This wing is a little low. Wait a minute, I don't like that. So I didn't change much. but I am going to poke this like this. I didn't like where that wing was at. Okay, so now you can hear me poking. It's loud because it's going through felted wool, into that tight knot. So there's one little wing. Make sure that's in the same spot. Just like we did on the other side. Because the sweater we're using is wool, it felts really well into the other wool. I imagine if you were using wool underneath a piece of acrylic sweater, the thing is acrylic sweaters, they won't felt down, so they don't turn into felt when you wash them. And they're going to be stretchy, where this is a piece of fabric. I mean, a piece of felt fabric. So this teal that we're using was originally a gray sweater that I overdyed. I needed some teal color, and I'm like, oh, this is a good color. It's really kind of a fun color. Now this wing is bigger than that wing, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut a piece off. Don't be afraid to remodel your sweaters once they're on. And then we'll get this poked a little bit better. If you want to make this look like more than one feather, you can put a little divot in here. So now we need 2 eyeballs and a beak. For the eyeballs, you just need very little. Or as Cannon suggested, you could probably use little beads. I just use a little smidge of black. Put it right there at where all those join. It's about a 1/2 inch back from the front of your head. Okay, important. You gotta look at the front of your bird for the second eye placement. What are you thinking about, Cannon?
I'm just cozy over here.
Going to the gym?
I got the heater on me. Feels good. Probably will go to the gym. It's gonna be busy though. Everyone has their
New Year's
resolution.
Their New Year's resolutions.
They go for like a week and stop going.
I think it's like 2 weeks is what they say before the resolutions wear off.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about keeping resolutions that I make. The key is to make ones that are achievable.
Yep.
Okay, so we have some little eyeballs. You can continue to shape your head. Okay, now all we have left to do are the legs and the beak. And the beak is really just a smidge of thing. Hold on. I had cord wool on my lap. It was keeping me warm. You notice it's cooler in here? I took the rug out from under the table because I was cleaning. You know, we have a meetup Monday, right? Let's see if any of my ladies watch this. And, oh my gosh. There was so much stuff under the rug. There was scissors, there was broken needles, there was fiber, there was this, there was that. Oh my gosh. I'm like, you know what? I need to get rid of this rug. There was just too many things that had been dropped. So I made a little seed, and I'm gonna poke it, and I'm gonna roll it And yes, it's way bigger than your beak's going to be because you need something to hold on to. So we're making a tiny little beak. It's a little tiny black cone is what you're making. Don't worry if it's too big. The goal here is to get it poked firm. You can always get your finger wet a little bit and spin it around. Okay, so we know that that is going to be the right size, and then I'm going to clip it. So now I know I have a tiny beak, and it goes right there. And now I'm going to attach it, which will make it smaller. If you have power wax, you can power wax it. I have not power waxed any of mine. It's just really small. It's just a tiny little beak. Every time you add something, things go out of whack. You just got to make sure they're in whack, back where they belong. All right, let's add some legs. So you need that 20 gauge wire. I'm using black. I noticed it comes in brown, and I almost ordered the brown instead of the black. We have 4 pieces, right? So I'm going to show you the way I do it. You decide where you want your legs. They go about right here. So we put the skewer through. And you're going to send one leg through. You're just going to do this 4 times, and it doesn't even matter. It's actually better if they're not in the same hole. Okay, there's 2. I don't know, let's see if we can just put one through. 3. You know, and I know there's other ways to make legs, but this is the fastest way I've found. Oh, and I pulled one out accidentally. It's awkward. It's a little bit awkward to twist these. Okay, so you want to line the ends up, and we're going to twist. I'm going to hold them with this hand on that side and twist them. Well, maybe. All right. Let's twist. Don't worry if they're twisting in the bird. Because you're going to end up with 4 toes. So you want to leave about a 1/2 inch out. And then one is going to go in the back. And then we're going to go on this side and twist these guys. I imagine if this was like 22 gauge wire, it would be easier. Okay, I don't like my legs super long. I like them to be about an inch, I think. Not even. 3/4 of an inch. So at 3/4 of an inch, I'm going to bend these wires back. And then I'm going to decide, okay, that's going to be a back toe. These are front toes. Front toes usually a hair longer. Let's cut that off. And then over here, oh, what a mess I've got here. That's going to be the back toe, I think. Let's see. Back toe, front toes. So we want them to look the same. Okay, so we have back toes, we have front toes. Now, there's two things you can do here. I've done two different ways. Make sure he stands up. I never trust my felting pad. He's not going to stand up quite yet because we need to solidify this. We're going to go in here and we are going to felt on the back side of that wire. You know, this is the cheat for when you don't want to put a full armature on a bird. You can, I did this, shoot some glue inside there with your hot glue gun. That worked. It's pretty solid. Just don't felt like this with the needle while that glue is still warm. Ask me how I know. So here's where you got to decide, how do you want your bird to face? Do you want him facing down? Do you want him facing up? You know, what you want. Because once you decide that, you're going to take some more of your pumpkin and you're going to wrap your legs. On the outside, I kind of want him sitting up. And I go down the wire a little bit. I'm looking at that foot and I'm realizing that wire is not as twisty as I like it, but it'll do. This is not the most perfect technique, but it's a cheat. It's a cheat. And if I was going slower, it would come out better. I might even twist some more. Let's twist him around one more time. And we're going to twist him around one more time. Only because I don't like that I couldn't see the twists in the leg. There, and now it's way firmer too. Kitten's over here remodeling the sheep. Was he too fluffy?
I'm just trimming up the little twine. I'm getting some.
But that's what makes it look cool, is the rustic twine.
There's just some fuzzies I'm taking off. It's a light detail.
Okay. You're detailing him.
Yeah.
You're like a car detailer only for sheep. I do have some little curved scissors that are really good for that.
These are fine.
So the more that you poke around the legs, the firmer he's going to become for standing. And then sometimes I just add, see how I have this little line here? I don't want that line. I want his leg going down that wire to be smooth. So I'm going to add in a little bit. Not being picky. Picky's the name of the game. You know, I always say the devil's in the details. So let's...
That's why I'm over here trimming.
That's why you're over there trimming up a sheep. I know. The devil is in the details.
I just called the sheep a shrimp.
Hey, could we felt a shrimp? What do shrimp look like? I know what they look like on a plate.
Just gotta add some little eggs.
Ooh. Yeah, see, I love shrimp, and I love crabs, and I love lobster. The bugs. I love the bugs of the sea. I do not like fish.
You should try it. The Wharf in Medford. It's a seafood restaurant. It's really good.
But I'm not going to order fish.
No, they have like what you were just saying. Like,
is that the new place?
No, it's been around for a while.
Because there's a new... Oh, wait. Oh, I know. What did I hear was coming? Oh, the spaghetti factory.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because you know spaghetti is my absolute most favorite food on the planet.
Wow.
pretty
Spaghetti and garlic bread is just like a
spaghetti.
godsend.
Spaghetti. It's it's been my favorite food since I was a little kid. My mom would get so mad because we would go out. We rarely went out to a restaurant because we were pretty poor growing up, to say, and so we would rarely go out to eat. And her thing was, if you go out to eat, you got to order something you can't get at home, right? Not me. I would always order spaghetti. It would make her crazy. So I don't know if your felting pad is like mine, but I always have to test my bird on the table rather than the pad. But that is it. That is all there is to making this little bird. And you're going to go back after you've got them all together and just finish him. You're going to do all the little finishing parts. If you want, you can make this absolute white. I think the core wool color is just fine. I mean, it's what I've been doing. And again, you can change these colors up. I was thinking making a yellow one of these would be pretty cute. Make a little finch. Make a little goldfinch. I have a new yellow roving in stock. That's going to be the perfect chick color. It's not on the website yet, I don't think. I don't think I've gotten that far. But I'm getting there. So if you want, you can squeeze the tail like this. Give it a little depth. It'll give the tail feather a little bit of curve. I like to make these little areas really defined. But that's just how I do it. You know, how you interpret it will be your style. It's so funny how like 5 different people can make the same thing and they all come out different because it's your style and it's okay. Now, if you accidentally get orange up here, you can always add white behind the eyeball. And he's pretty done. There you have it. One little tiny bluebird. I think I would see now I'm going back and looking. I'm going to take some extra fiber. The base of his beak is too skinny for me. So I'm just going to wrap a little bit on here. Right at the base. Oh, Kenan, there's coconut balls in there for you. If you like them.
Okay.
Like Almond Joy? Yeah. I sent an 11-pound package of goodies to my kids.
Wow.
11 pounds of sugar. Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
There, I know. There we go. One little beak. Okay, so there you have it. This is the little bird with the sweater wings. Kenan likes this color better. I like the bluebird. You know, it's a matter of choice. And if you want to sit him on a spool, you're just going to glue those little feet right onto the spool. It's really cute. And then you can wrap a little twine around the bottom. It's cute. Cute, cute, cute.